Hi viewers, welcome to Face Live. My name is Alessandro and I will be with you for 1 hour as usual. In this particular episode, actually I've been quite eagerly waiting for this episode because we are going to be having a special guest. Not only is the guest a lecturer, but she's also a doctor who specializes in dermatology. And to specify the discussion, we are going to be talking about something like hyperhidrosis, when I always enjoy it when it comes to a topic that relates to health. So without further ado, this is Kardiana Dewi. Hello.
Hello, Alessandro.
It's really nice to have you in this episode. Have a seat.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. And what a great studio here.
Yeah. So how are you doing, by the way, Kak?
I'm really good, very good.
Okay.
Never been better.
Yeah, never been better.
Just like you.
The same happened to me. As it happens, you are a lecturer at Atmajaya, right?
Yes.
And what do you teach, by the way? Like biology, math, or English, or what? Because your English is so fascinating, actually.
No, not really. Actually, I'm a lecturer in the dermatology department.
Wow.
And medical faculty at Atmajaya Catholic University.
So how long have you been teaching in total?
Not really. It's just like less than a year, I hope.
Less than a year.
I think so.
So you graduated
last year.
Last year.
Actually, I was graduated from Diponegoro University in Semarang, if you know, from the dermatology department.
Bachelor degree or master degree?
The specialty one.
Wow. And how often do you teach, per week?
Actually, because we're in medical faculty, so we always being there every day during the work hours. Because maybe you heard about the COAS. Sometimes you know that the young doctors, before they become a doctor, the professions, we also handle that besides the preclinic one. So daily we teach them.
Wow.
In the hospital and in the faculty.
And apart from being a teacher, you are also a doctor.
Yeah.
A doctor specializing in dermatology. Wow, that's great. So what are you actually, a doctor or lecturer then?
Both.
Both.
And maybe
Okay. If somebody asks you, what is your main job? Which one will you say? A lecturer or a doctor?
Of course, the doctor one.
Oh, the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm very happy to be a clinician. Yeah. So besides I'm a lecturer, I also try to, of course, my knowledge. I have to practice my knowledge as a dermatologist. I work in the hospital as well, in Atmajaya Hospital. And also in a rejuvenation center, like a clinic, and one area in one of the mall in West Jakarta.
So generally speaking, do you spend your time more as being a lecturer or more as being a doctor?
Half. Like 50-50.
Oh, 50-50.
Every morning till afternoon, I become a lecturer, and after that, I practice.
And I now quite wondering why you want to become a teacher. Sometimes people, when they have already become a doctor, they leave everything else. I've got what I want to be. Well, doctor pays quite much money. Then I can be rich just being a doctor. But why you want to be a teacher?
Hopefully.
Is teaching your passion or what?
Yeah. Actually, it becomes one of my greatest passions because since I was in the college, I also active in many organizations, and just like in Senate, all of the organizations. And after that, since that moment, I already have a passion that I want to be a lecturer.
Wow, a lecturer.
And after becoming a doctor, I finished the study, and then I go practice and get my specializations, be residency in Semarang, and then after finish, I come back to.
Okay. And if I ask you, the things that you enjoy most when teaching, what are they? The thing that you enjoy very, very much in teaching? Is it like asking questions to the students, or is it like giving punishment to the students, or what? I don't know.
You know what? The thing that I really just amazed by becoming a lecturer is that you can make an inspirations for the students. It's just like you can inspire them to do something. And even though before maybe they don't like to study, they don't like this subject, but if you are good in that,
you can make them interested in learning your subject. Oh.
You can change the way they think. You can make them learn more and more. And
very noble. Change the way they think. Make them learn more and more. Wow, that's good.
Because sometimes not all of the students have the. Sometimes they able to learn about it, but they don't really interested in that. But you can change the way they see something.
And tell you what, my major is English, and I'm taking teaching streaming, so I'm focusing on teaching as well. And okay, no matter how busy you are, you are a doctor, you are also a lecturer. Like people say, no matter how busy somebody is, they must have something as their hobbies. Okay, now do you have anything in particular, like hobbies like swimming, or maybe like washing the plates, or maybe like waking up your husband? Wake up, or what? I don't know.
Things about the hobby is, maybe you will not believe if I say that, but my greatest hobby is shopping.
Shopping.
Which is most of women like that, but me myself it's just like my greatest hobby. So I can do that all day long, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Even will not stop if I just like in my greatest.
And you don't even feel tired.
Not really.
Wow. I mean, what's the thing that you really like in shopping?
Actually, the greatest...
Spending the money
not
we've
not
got,
really, not really.
What?
It's just like when you do shopping, it's not about the expensive things and not about you spend the whole money, but the ability to find a good thing and beyond other things. So it's just like a hobby. Sometimes you cannot give an exact explanations about that, right?
And how often do you go shopping? Like per month, let's say. How often? Like
I can do it daily, as long as I have the time.
But general, how often?
You mean serious? You asked this?
Yeah.
I can do it every day.
Oh, every day? Wow.
It's just like because actually I practice in the mall in the afternoon, in the evening, during evening, in the mall, inside the mall. So it's like a greatest pleasure of mine. So I can walk around, and sometimes I already convince myself, this is not the time for shop. This is not the time for shop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's just like meanwhile while you walk, and you can say, there's a diamond in there. I mean, not really diamond. It's just like beyond other things. So this one is good. So I have to go to that place and like
temptation.
Yes.
And besides going shopping, do you have anything else that you like doing? Is your hobby like maybe?
Actually, I like traveling, but nowadays since I already become a lecturer.
Because you can go shopping when you travel. Okay.
That's the main point. Very good, very good. But actually now I already become a lecturer, so I cannot do the traveling anymore. So I just like spend my time with my family. Okay, now I think that's enough for getting to know you better. Thank you.
Well, since the topic is about hyperhidrosis, maybe some of the viewers are not aware of what this is actually, and I think it's better for you to explain, maybe some sort of like giving your explanation, definition as to what this is actually.
Yeah, so actually hyperhidrosis is, according to the name, hyper and hydrosis. Hyper means excessive or too much, right? And hydrosis is sweating. So hyperhidrosis means that excessive sweating on the body.
On the body, like which part of the body?
Mostly you can get generalized or localized in several areas on the bodies. But in hyperhidrosis, normally patients will come with the excessive sweating, and of course sometimes it become problems, big problems. Even though we see if the patients don't have the problems, they will see that it's like a simple one. You can use things like in the deodorant or things. But if the patients really got the main problems or got the severe symptoms of this, they can feel this like a big disability.
Okay, and we will go more about this one later. We will talk deeper about this topic after the break, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Hi viewers, welcome back with us on Face to Face, the only English spoken program on BINUSTV with me, Alessandro, as your host, and Kardiana Dewi as our special guest. If you're just tuning in, we are now currently talking about hyperhidrosis. Now, well, you have already told us the definition of hyperhidrosis. Now, maybe you can tell us the importance of knowing more about this one. Why is it important for us to know more about this?
Yeah, actually from the International Hyperhidrosis Study, you said that 3% of the world's population is affected by this hyperhidrosis. And for
3%?
3%
of the
world's population, so it's quite big, right?
So maybe I'm one of them.
Okay.
Are you one of them or not?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really. But actually from the 3%, if it's a severe symptoms, it can be quite embarrassing, make a problems, and make it just like a just like psychological problems, and also affect the people's interpersonal relationships, and also the way they see things, and sometimes it can affect their personality as well. So it's better for us to understand, so we can do at least
we know how to deal with it.
Yes.
And now, like you mentioned before, that I got two terminologies here, like localized and generalized. Well, I think it's clear what generalized mean, but what about like localized? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, actually, our body can make sweats because we have two sweat glands. There are two major sweat glands, which is first the eccrine and the other one is the apocrine. The eccrine, actually, it can just like terminates in all over the body. And it is odorless. So it's just like when you're sweating, when you get exercise, or you go to get sunburn, you can sometimes also get sweaty all over the body, but it's odorless. But for the apocrine, it's just like terminate in most of the area of the body with the hair, which is like armpit, groins, or even for breasts in women, and also sometimes but also in palms and soles.
So like this one, my palms are wet.
Okay.
So what do you think? This is hyperhidrosis then?
Actually, to make sure that this is hyperhidrosis, we can do an exam. We call it just
not writing exam, right?
No. The test. I mean the test for sweat tests. So do the sweat test. We have special powder, just like from starch. So we put it on the area under room temperature. Of course, not under the sun. Of course, it will be sweaty. And the room temperature area. And
so special powder, yeah?
Yeah, special powder from iodine. And then we put it, and the powder will become changed, the color, become dark purple. It means that you are hyperhidrosis. So once you already get tested, this person have hyperhidrosis. And mostly, of course, first, you get the like attack minimum for once a week, of course. Once a week. And then after that, it affected your both sides of the body. So it not only in one palm, but on two palms, and also two soles maybe, or two armpits, so it's symmetrical. And after that, of course, we can do the examinations by then. But sometimes I can see that very clear, it's kind of wet. Maybe the camera can show that because it's kind of wet.
But the thing is that some people say, particularly in Indonesia, I don't know, but most people, when they look at my hands, they will say that it is attributed to paru-paru basah. What do you think about that? What do you think of that? Do you think it's true or not?
I heard, we know that so many myths.
Like some kind of problem to your lung?
Yes, or some problems with the heart. It's a weak heart, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think it's true. Actually, some of them are true if it's consistent, because if we're talking about hyperhidrosis, there are two main hyperhidrosis. First, the primary one, and the other one is the secondary. If for the secondary, we have the health problems underlying this hyperhidrosis.
So you're talking about the causes now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, go on. So the second one is like health underlying problems?
Yes, for the secondary
like what?
Like obesity, hyperthyroidism, diabetes. It can manifest in hyperhidrosis or excessive sweating. But mostly that the people complain about is the primary one, which is we call it primary idiopathic hyperhidrosis.
Why do people complain about that one?
The idiopathic said that the meaning of the idiopathic is the cause is unknown.
Unknown, so nobody knows.
Yeah.
Wow.
But mostly, sometimes it's also related to the genetic problems. So maybe it runs in the family, just like, okay, the whole family, my mom, my grandma, everybody's just got
so genetic then, okay.
A bit.
Oh, yeah. That's why my youngest sister also feels the same as I do. So our hands are both wet.
But only in the hands, on the palms, or also on the soles?
Yeah, also. What about you? You don't feel like that one?
Only sometimes in the nervous situations like this.
Okay.
It's just like, I want to do the talk show with you. I gotta get the hyperhidrosis a bit. Okay.
Maybe when you mentioned before, like obesity, one of the underlying health problems. So can I say that people with obesity problems will be very likely to have wet hands?
Not really, actually. It's just like, because when you are a bit fat, your metabolism is also up, and also many fat, and it makes your sweat a lot. So it's just like connected to the hyperhidrosis. But mostly the primary one, even the patients with that obesity also can get, and people always try to connect it with the psychological problems. Oh, you're very nervous. Maybe because you're nervous, you're so anxious, or you're so depressed, stressed, blah, blah. Actually, it's not really true. It's not really true. The part of that sometimes, even from the research, is that it's like reverse, you know. The people who get hyperhidrosis, they become more anxious because of this, the wet palm. So not just like in return, because of the stress and the palm become wet. Like
that's why some people say to me, your hands are wet because you were nervous. But sometimes when I'm sleeping, my hands are wet.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. Sometimes when I like to get up, but very rarely. But most of the time, like this one, it's wet. I don't know why. Maybe it's the first cause. It's like unknown. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll check it out sometime.
Yeah.
And now, so when we have an illness, I believe that every illness has their own symptoms.
Yes.
And what are the symptoms of hyperhidrosis?
Yeah, of course, because according to the name, hyperhidrosis, so it should be, we have a
excessive.
Yes, this is like wet palms, wet soles, and also in the groins area, on the armpits, and even sometimes on the hair.
On the hair?
Yeah,
how come?
It's just like when you're
oh.
exposed to the sun, you get sweaty. Sometimes everybody can recognize their own smell, right? you know that this is the smell of my hair.
Good.
Yeah. I'm very sorry. Just like inside the helmet, you know that there's a bit smell because of the apocrine gland, which is because of the hyperhidrosis. Mostly in those areas, we get the excessive sweating.
Okay. And how come you learn about these things? I mean, what makes you interested in learning things related to hyperhidrosis? Because you were somebody who used to suffer from this problem or not?
Because I have patients that actually the patients are, in general, the conditions are very good. And as just like mostly male, sometimes female also, they're really in a good conditions. I mean, healthy, young and beautiful and pretty and handsome. But things like this can be very, very annoying, right? And be very disturbing. And even though they're already in a very perfect conditions, this thing can make their just like confidence is low. So I think this should have a great treatment or knowledge about this.
And do you think that gender matters in this one? Do you think that male is more likely to have hyperhidrosis or not? Compared to female?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, mostly, of course, male are sweating a lot more than female. Of course.
And
so,
why?
Because of the proportions. I mean, it kind of hormonal thing as well. So besides of the sweat glands are quite a lot, and in that area, sometimes it's like in male. Of course, hygiene is more important thing, and I'm very sorry, in underarm, the armpits, mostly in guy they have many hairs, and they it's just like in lady they try to razor the hair and things, but in male, because many hairs, so the smell become a bit
very bad.
A bit the hair.
And now, so we have discussed the symptoms, we've discussed the definition, we've discussed the causes. Now, the problems, maybe the problems caused by hyperhidrosis, and maybe you can go on to the worst problem of this. What do you think?
Actually, we already know that from the hyperhidrosis, it's like excessive sweating, it become moist. Moist in the places that we don't like. But we don't like the moist, but bacteria, fungus, they love the moist conditions. And that's why it's, if we make it continue, we can make it, we're afraid of the complications, is the infections of the bacterial infections or fungus infections, because it's too moist, and all of the bad things love to stay there. So we have to try to prevent it by give therapy for the excessive sweating area. So because in the fungal, it's just like normally we call it athlete's foot. You ever heard about that, about this disease?
No.
Athlete's foot. It's because of the fungal infections on the toenail, or maybe maybe you heard about the commercial. Sometimes they say kadas, panu, or thing like that. It's because of the fungus, and they love to stay in the area that is moist. So that is one of the complications of the hyperhidrosis. And also heat rash, just like people who get this one on the heat rash on the back. Because of many hydrosis, it become just like bumps, like mini bumps on the back. It become more problems as well.
Okay. And in the third segment, we are going to be talking the causes of localized excessive sweating, whether the causes of localized sweating different from that of those of generalized or not, and we're also going to be discussing like the ways to handle this one. How can I deal with this? What should I do if I suffer from hyperhidrosis? And maybe like some people think that there are so many treatments to this one, and we're going to be talking whether it's really working or not, whether it's successful or not, whether it's reliable or not. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Hi viewers, welcome back with us on Face to Face, your favorite talk show on BINUSTV with me, Alessandro, as your host, and Kardiana Dewi as our special guest. We are now talking about hyperhidrosis, and now I'm going to be asking her the ways to handle this particular problem. Now this is a problem, hyperhidrosis. As you mentioned before, it can make somebody embarrassed because of too much sweat. And now, let's say I am somebody suffering from this problem. So what should I do to handle this particular excessive sweating?
Yeah, actually for this excessive sweating, we have many treatments to concur all of this.
To concur, the word is too good.
To concur, because it's quite difficult to handle, because as long as the person is still healthy, as long as everything goes normal, of course the sweat glands always produce the sweats, right? So there are many ways to handle that. Now, first, particular, of course, we have to separate it first from the localized or the generalized one.
Yeah.
For the generalized, normally we have underlying health conditions.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, like obesity.
Yeah, of course, if we have underlying health conditions, that conditions have to be treated first. Once you treat that one, we assume, or we expected that it will reduce the excessive
amount of
sweating.
sweat.
And for the localized, this is quite annoying, annoying. So normally people will try to find many treatments, which is, we can find a very simple one from the OTC or over-the-counter products, just like antiperspirant, deodorant. Actually, we can use that one, but that's the main difference between deodorant and antiperspirant. Deodorant normally used to reduce the odor, the smell, the unpleasant smell of that. While the antiperspirant, it's much better because it tries to block the sweat productions.
Wow!
So
I just knew it. I just knew it, really.
Yeah. So normally nowadays they sell in the OTC. They combine both antiperspirant with the deodorant, so roll-on one, right? So we can reduce the smell but block the productions
at
of
the same
sweat.
time.
Yes. So, but the true antiperspirant, actually we can buy it, but normally you go to the doctor and the doctor will give you prescriptions of the antiperspirant. It's chemical. So when you put it there, it will reduce the productions or block the productions of the sweat. And after that, we can also use drugs because it's from the nerves. So we can try to reduce the productions. And meanwhile, after you do the simple one, you can try to make it more advanced. And of course, you have to go to the specialized doctor, just like dermatologists. We can use injections like Botox, botulinum toxin. Even you can try to use the botulinum toxins because actually the botulinum toxin, you want to try?
No, I don't think I will.
Actually, botulinum toxin is very good.
Expensive or not? Like how much money shall I spend on it?
For the botulinum toxin, we actually use the lower concentrations of the botulinum toxin. Have
you ever tried that one before? No.
Yeah, but of course, for the price is
quite expensive.
Yeah, and it's
like
different in many places.
Above $1 million or what? In Indonesia.
Of course.
So we only like do it once, or like we need to do it like over time?
For the botulinum toxin, we try to paralyze. We try to block just like the chemical active, so it can block the way we sweat. And then after that, It will show effect in 4 to 5 days after injections, and it will last only 4 to 6 months, I think. So that's why maybe first for the unpleasant injections, and secondly, sometimes only a few moments we can get the complications. It's just like paralyzed for the localized area that we get injections, and also it's just like not permanent and it's quite expensive. So people not really fancy of this Botox injections. But you can do the iontophoresis. The iontophoresis is a different method. If you ever heard that, but nowadays not many people use this anymore. So you have to put your both palms and soles to the water, and then after that, you got just like the electricity.
Shocked. Then.
Yes,
wow.
a bit. So it gives you an unpleasant sensations, right? And then people not really fancy of this too, because it's quite 20 to 30 minutes, and you have to do it several times, and it won't reduce for the maximum. So you have to repeat over and over again.
But it's cheaper.
Of course.
Of course.
But there is
another one.
Yeah, and
so you were talking about treatments here now, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. And actually, for the treatments, first for the simple one, the antiperspirant, deodorant, and use the iontophoresis or botulinum toxin injections. And you can also use, there's many treatment devices like radio frequency with the needles. They can try to block actually the purpose of the lasers of the device of the radio frequency is they also consist of needles.
Wow, needles.
Yes, and when you do the device like this, the needles go inside under your skin and break all of the glands, and the radio frequency make it broken. So hopefully there are no more sweats after that.
Is it safe or not?
Safe, actually it's safe, but it's still even more expensive than the Botox, I think.
It's permanent?
Hopefully yes, in another 1 or 2 years, quite longer than Botox.
It's like needle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you tried that one before or not? No.
Try on a patient, yes.
Wow.
And it's the results quite good. I mean, for another 1 or 2 years.
Does it hurt or not? Does it hurt?
A bit.
A bit.
So you give anesthetic before, right? So the most, I mean, it's just like the maximum one. You do the surgery.
I'll go with you after this one. I'll try that one.
Okay. But the maximum one is surgery. So if you're already going through all of this and it still can work, you can go through surgery.
Wow. What do we do in the surgery?
In the surgery, actually, it's very easy. You know what? You get all of the glands. So in our skin, it's just like layers. And the second layers of the skin, the glands is over there. So in surgery, we try to get the glands.
Get it out.
Yes,
Wow.
be with the excisions, or whether maybe sometimes we can use the liposuction device, so we can just.
How do we get it? How do we get it out? Because the first layer, right? And we want to get out the second layer. How can we get it?
We make the incisions and we just like scrap the glands. Yeah, so it's an operation room, of course.
And it's safe also.
Safe also.
Any other treatment, or that's all?
I think that's all.
And from those all, which one is your most favorite, or the one that you recommend most to people, to the viewers?
Okay, of course, first of all, the antiperspirant is the easiest and the cheapest, and it's very easy to get right. And after that, I think the new device are quite good, but not many people use that one, and not many patients can afford that because it's quite expensive. I think it's 5 million or more, but the results are quite good. But actually, you can do the normal treatment, just like iontophoresis is not really a fancy, not a good treatment right now. Botulinum injections as well, because the effect is quite short for a quite bit injections. Because in botulinum toxin, you have to put many injections as well. So when the result is only 4 to 6 months, you have to repeat over and over again. Of course, you won't be happy for that. For the surgery, sometimes people are a bit afraid of surgery. So maybe the device with the radio frequency and the needles is quite good.
Wow, that's good. Okay. Now, let's say I am not, or let's just say somebody who is not suffering from overhidrosis, and that person wants to prevent himself from suffering from this. What are the ways to prevent somebody from, from having this particular problem? What do we do?
So actually, first you have to, if you want to avoid the hyperhidrosis, of course, from the material, the fabrics that you use from your clothes, even your socks, because the person with hyperhidrosis, not only on the body, not only on the armpit or palm of soles, but also in special area, right?
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, just like for your clothes, you use the lightweight material, the one that is cotton, so it can absorb your sweat.
Yeah.
And also from the socks, use the good material so it can absorb your sweats, and also from the shoes. And even, I'm very sorry, for the groin area. Sometimes nowadays, girls or even boys, now they use many kinds of underwear with many materials, which is more cute, but it's
not
less
good,
absorbed. Less absorbed. Latex, the nylon one.
Too tight.
Yes, too tight. So it cannot absorb the sweat. So you have to reduce it.
So you recommend that, so you suggest that we wear like loose clothes?
Yes.
Because it helps, you know, like the air to come
the
in.
perspirations, of course. And also more hygiene. More hygiene. I mean, just like you have to take a bath regularly, minimum twice a day. With the, if you know that I got this problem, so I have to use the antiseptic bar soap maybe. So, but only that area. In another area, in all of your body, you can use the normal soap, but on that particular area, you can use the antibacterial soap. So it can reduce more, and then yeah.
And you mentioned before that we need to take like twice, take a bath twice a day. I've ever read something saying that when you take a bath, it's not good for your skin because you're applying some soap and it can harm your skin. Do you think it's true or not? Because some people say that we should, like, you know, cut down the frequency of our taking a bath. But we'll continue that one later after the break, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Hi viewers, welcome back with us on Face to Face. This is the last segment of Face to Face in this episode. Now, as I was asking before, like, some people say that the more you take a bath, the more you harm your skin, because some people say that, you know, like the chemical in the soap, when you apply it to your skin, it can damage your skin. And some people say that it is better for you to cut down the frequency of you taking a bath. Do you think it's true or not?
That is main questions that patients always ask to me as well. Normally, when we take a bath, actually, first we have to know that our country is a tropical country, and then the humid, with a very high humidity. So when you take a bath, it's good. Actually, it's good for your skin. If you don't take a bath, because there are many dust, many pollution, so you have to get rid of that with shower. But of course, taking a shower that is good is first, you don't use the water that is too hot, not hot tub every day. So no of that. So it's just like, okay, you're gonna make it a bit hot, but it's just like in the middle. It will be better if you use the cold water, and then after that, of course, for the soap, don't use the soap that is caused too many detergent. Just like so, you can use the. Especially if you have allergic or your skin got easy to get dermatitis or something, or eczema, so you can use the baby soap. It will be better. So baby soap will maintain.
Soap.
Yes.
I will buy one.
Okay, it's cheap and it will maintain the moisturizer on your skin. So because many of our soap nowadays,
it makes your skin dry.
Yes, because many soap, and sometimes people love to get shower with many soap, and
so it's not good.
Not good. Not good, because it will just like damage your moisturized layer of the skin. So actually, we can take a bath twice a day, not reduce than that, because if you make it less, like once daily, it will make you less hygiene, right? Yeah, because it's many pollutions and many of just like for the humidity. If you lack of shower, we afraid that many bacteria or fungus will stay over there. But if you think about, of course, use the baby soap.
Yeah.
It's safe. And use the moisturizer after that all over the body. So it will make your skin moist. And maybe if your skin is a bit dry, use the baby soap all over the body. But for the excessive sweating area, just like the armpit, the groin, you can use the antibacterial soap.
And do you think that taking a bath with cold water is better than taking a bath with hot water or warm water?
The cold one better.
Why is it so?
Because when you use the hot water will really just like make damage your layer, your topical, the oil layer of the skin. So it will kill the moisturizer effect that we have to call it NMF, or natural moisturizing factor, is in our skin, and everybody have that one. But normally if you use the hot water, it will reduce their natural moisturizing factor on the superficial layer of the skin.
Okay, and now you're also like somebody who is good at skincare, right?
Not really, yeah, because every girl do, and especially, but I'm a dermatologist.
Maybe
so,
you can give us some tips as to how we take care of our skin. How do we care our skin?
Yeah, of course, everybody wants to get a healthy, perfect skin, right? Not only women, but men, but everybody wants to. So there are many things to do. First, avoid smoke.
Smoke.
Okay, don't smoke. Yeah.
I don't.
Good, very good. And then don't drink alcohol.
I don't.
Good, very good then. So avoid smoking, alcohol, and you have to drink water enough and regularly. It's just like minimum for 8 glasses a day, or just like 1.5 liter.
8 glasses per day.
Yes.
How big is the glass? Like this one?
Actually, it's just like in total 1.5 liters.
1.5 liters per day.
Yes.
I think I drink more than that. Like 1 gallon alone in 3 days or 4 days. So is it good or not?
This, huh?
No. So 1.5 liters liter per day.
That's for the minimum. But actually, if you want to drink it too, that's good.
Like you, how much do you drink?
Only 1 bottle, I think.
1 bottle per day?
Yeah.
What bottle? How big?
The big one, of course.
1 bottle.
Yeah. In total.
Per day,
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you already drink that water, many, and then you also eat vegetables and fruits. Fruits and vegetables is good for your skin. And also you moisturize your body regularly. Just
baby soap.
Yes, baby soap, and then no hot water. Okay, and then after you take a bath, you use moisturizer all over the body.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for the area that is with excessive sweating, you can use antiperspirant for daily.
So those are the tips to take care of our skin. Now, what are the characteristics of good skin? Well-cared skin.
Yeah.
How can I differentiate between good skin and bad skin? This is good, this is bad. How can I differentiate that one?
Actually, I according to my opinion.
Yeah, according to your own opinion.
Yeah. Of course, to me, a healthy skin actually shows a good quality of a person, right? A good quality of life, because it's one person that not really taking care of their hygiene and their skin. It must be different. So sometimes we can differentiate a quality of a person by the skin. Not the color of the skin, but the quality of the skin, which is first, it's glowing, and then secondly, even skin tone, because you want the skin that is not about black, or not about color, or not about olive, or about the yellow skin, but about the skin become even skin tone, and then glowing, so it will make the skin looks healthy. Okay,
I have one more question now. Final question. Now you are a doctor, you know a lot about your field, dermatology, and your patient is also teaching. So you are a lecturer, you are a doctor.
Yes.
If you were to leave either being a lecturer or being a teacher, which one would you leave? You have to abandon. You have to leave one of your professions.
First, of course, being a doctor is my greatest passion. Yeah, but being a lecturer is another just like passion and hobby. So if I have to choose one, I choose the doctor, of course.
Oh, the doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have reached the end of our show. Thank you very much for coming
You're very welcome.
face to face. It's really nice to be talking to you. And dermatology is really nice, a nice topic. And I really hope that everyone gets the clear idea as to what dermatology, not dermatology, hyperhidrosis. Yeah.
Yes.
And usually I give like conclusion to the viewers, give like something to say to the viewers conclusion. But now because this is a special episode, I let you do the closing. So say whatever you want to say, and then at the end say like, "This is face to face. See you next time." That's what you have to say.
Thank you. So if you love your body, you have to take care of your skin. That's it. This is face to face. See you again next time.
Bye bye.